Yep, it's true. I'm voting for the Conservatives, and the reason is because their manifesto is the best, and they're the only party that any of us can truly trust. Okay, I'm joking. That was purely clickbait, and it was just to try and start it off on an interesting note. I feel like there are hundreds of you just like about to furiously comment in the comment section how wrong I am. Truly, this is the second video in my series covering the manifestos for the upcoming general election. I'm covering the main parties in the UK, and I will not be sharing any of my political beliefs. I will be voting as all of you should be, which is why I am making this video. Like I said, I'm not going to be sharing my political beliefs or what even I really deeply think about any points made in this manifesto. It's purely educational. As we covered in the previous video where we looked at the Labour manifesto, I'm not going to be going through it in detail. I tried to do that at the start of the last video, and it's just too long. It is just way too boring. So what I think actually makes more sense is for me to go through the key points that they make. So this is the start of the Conservative manifesto, looking at all the points that they make and maybe the most important pledges that they are making, or offering, I suppose. And from that point, you can go and look at the manifesto yourself and pick and choose all the pieces that you want. I think it's really important, on a serious note, I think it's really important for anyone who wants to vote to at least get an idea. You know, don't turn this, you shouldn't vote for a party based on just snippets that you've heard or seen in the media, or even worse, because you've sort of emotionally aligned yourself with any given party, i.e. Conservative are on the right, Labour are on the left, Lib Dem are somewhere in the middle. Today is, as in today, like culturally today, is probably the worst time you could be doing that. It's not good generally, but the political landscape is not 2D, it's super 3D, and the waters have muddied more and more over time. There are the two things that get on my nerves personally the most, which you may disagree with actually, to be honest, but these are the only points I'll be making, are people who are complacent in their voting, and so either don't vote or don't try to really educate themselves properly. I'm not talking about like deeply educating yourself, because not everybody has the time or genuinely the deep interest, which is actually okay, but just go on like strongly to the point where it changes your opinion and voting on snippets they hear in the media, like I said, or just random things that people say to them that they know or don't know. I just don't think that that's a good way to be, and the worst thing you can do is not vote. I think that is a level of complacency that I really can't get on board with, and it really annoys me. We won't get into it too much, but people, millions of people have lost their lives in order for you to have the right to vote. You may feel like protest voting, but it makes no sense. I promise you, it makes no sense logically to do that. You may as well vote for, even if it's like some independent person who has no chance. Your best way of protest voting is voting for the party or individual or independent, whatever, that aligns most strongly with your own personal beliefs. You have to vote. You must vote. Really must vote, unless you have some very, very good reason for not. The other thing that really gets on my nerves, like I said, are people who align themselves with a certain party because of, like, as if they're supporting a football club. I'm a Labour supporter, and I will always be a Labour supporter. I'm a Conservative. My father was a Conservative. It's ridiculous, and genuinely is also as illogical as any other of these opinions I've made. Or, well, hopefully the opinions weren't illogical, but the, whatever, you know what I'm getting at. Let's read the manifesto. Like I said, not sharing my personal beliefs. Go and watch the Labour one if you've not watched it already. You can probably skip about halfway through because that's when I start actually, rattling through things on that one. So the Conservative Party Manifesto 2024, headed by Rishi Sunak, the current Prime Minister of the United Kingdom, of course. So, to secure a strong economy, we will deliver another 2p off national insurance, and our long-term plan is to abolish it altogether when it is economically responsible to do so. Protection for pensioners with triple lock plus, so the state pension is never taxed. 30 hours of free childcare a week, saving eligible families £6,900 a year. Read more, we'll go on to each one. To secure people's future, we will deliver a bold new model of national service to give young people the skills and opportunities to need to succeed. I might look into that one because that's scary. I would not want to do national service when I was younger. 100 high quality. I'm going to really try to not give a deep opinion on these things though, because that reaction was actually bad, by the way, because I made a negative judgment when I don't even know what it's talking about. So that's an example of something to avoid. 100,000 high quality. You see, just one thing, that is something that you could be very quickly swayed on to not vote Conservative, especially if you don't read or investigate and research further. If I was so inclined, if I was thinking, shall I vote Conservative, shouldn't I vote Conservative as like an 18-year-old, and I was heavily swayed by sound bites in the media, and I heard Conservatives will introduce national service if elected, I would be like, not voting for them, no way, I'm going to vote Labour, I'm going to vote whoever. That's why it can be bad. I mean, that may actually be what they're doing, I don't know, but you see what I mean, you need to research further before you make a judgment. 100,000 high quality apprenticeships by curbing rip-off university degrees. The advanced British standard to enhance technical learning as well as academic skills. To safeguard our borders and national security, we will deliver a boost to defence spending to 2.5 GDP by 2030. That is the exact same as Labour, by the way. I think that is exactly the same. A legal cap on migration, which will fall every year. Stop the boats by removing illegal immigrants to Rwanda, a contentious topic. To secure our community, we will deliver 92,000 extra nurses and 28,000 extra doctors. Wow, I don't know how they plan to do that. 8,000. For those of you who don't know, I am a doctor working in the NHS. I said the same thing in the Labour video, which is why I focused on some of the NHS pledges they made. 8,000 more full-time police officers, so every police ward has a new officer. 1.6 million more good homes while protecting our countryside. It's like they've tried to one-up them, because in Labour I think they pledged 1.5 million new homes or something. Although these are good homes, I don't think they said that in the Labour one. They're just average homes, or maybe even bad homes. So let's look at the first one. We're just going to skim through. Are we serious? I'm going to have to download it, aren't I? Yes, I was. Okay, maybe this is a better way to do it. Can we zoom in? Our plan. God. This is really boring. Oh my god. How are they doing this? Wait, hang on, how are they actually doing this? Because I want to skip to the important, or like the salient points. Okay, this looks fairly important, to be honest, so this is giving more detail. To support working people and secure a stronger economy. A tax cut for workers, the 2p from the NI. So we will have halved it from 12% at the beginning of the year to 6%. We all like less tax, like fundamentally we do, but maybe comments. I would avoid the comment section of this video. This sort of video will spark political debate. I am not going to shut it down. The comment section is a safe space for people to share their opinion, and if I am making a video on this sort of topic, I think it is only fair for people to be able to share their opinions, however strongly they like, to a degree, I suppose, as long as it's not literally rude, and to engage in constructive discussion. Okay. I am fairly busy outside of making these videos, so I probably won't be able to police the comment section that strongly, although it's a small channel, so I doubt there's going to be hundreds of people commenting and arguing. But I'm just saying, if you're here for the ASMR and for a bit of education and just for to chill out a bit, maybe avoid the comment section if that's what you don't want to engage in. Okay. Cut taxes to support the self-employed, abolishing the main rate of self-employed national insurance entirely by the end of the Parliament. Okay, tax for pensioners, tax cut, triple lock plus, give working parents 30 hours of free what? 30 hours of free childcare from when their child is 9 months old and when they start school. What? That is insane. How are they going to do that? That is unbelievably good, isn't it? Like, if they introduce that, that is amazing. Again, I'm not saying like, oh my god, because of this, vote for them. I'm saying like, that's a huge pledge. That would make a huge difference to lots of people. I swear, I'm not, if I react in this way, this is not me going like, wow, Conservatives are amazing. I seriously am not going to give any indication truly of who I'm voting for. Maybe in the next video or something I will actually say who I voted for, like after the actual election or something. End of the unfairness in child benefit by moving to a household system so families don't start losing child benefit until their combined income reaches £120,000. They cut the cost of net zero for consumers by taking a more pragmatic approach in guaranteeing no new green levies or charges, while accelerating the rollout of renewables. It always sounds too good to be true, these things, doesn't it? Sees the benefits of Brexit by signing further trade deals, speeding up the infrastructure and unblocking 100,000 homes. Unblocking, what does that mean? Cutting red tape for business and creating new fishing opportunities. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not a political expert. I don't stay that up to date. I try my best, but you know how it is. So some of these things like unblocking, is that to do with they're not allowed to be built or something? I don't really know. Because I thought this was to do with trade, unblocking 100,000 homes. Don't know. To provide young people with a secure future. And if you guys know the answer to some of these, confusions, or, please do give an answer in the comments. To provide young people with a secure future, blah, blah. Give young people the skills and opportunities they deserve by introducing mandatory national service for all school leavers at 18, with the choice between a competitive placement in the military or civic service roles. Fund 100,000 high-quality apprenticeships for young people, paid for by curbing the number of poor-quality university degrees. What does this one mean? Because, if that were me at 18, I would have been very unhappy. I guess if you're doing it like everyone does it, I don't know, maybe I wouldn't have been that bothered. I don't know quite how beneficial they can be, so I'll reserve judgment. Protect children by requiring schools to ban the use of mobile phones during the school day, and ensuring parents can see what their children are being taught, especially on sensitive matters like sex education. Not sure about this one. Transform 16 to 19 introduce a legal cap on migration to guarantee that numbers will fall every year, so public services are protected while bringing in the skills our business and NHS needs. Stop the boats. Work with other countries to rewrite asylum treaties to make them fit for the challenges we face. To strengthen our communities, increase NHS spending above inflation every year. 92,000 more nurses, 28,000 more doctors, driving up productivity of the NHS. Pharmacy first, new and modernised GP surgeries, more community diagnostic centres. Protect female-only spaces and competitiveness in sport by making clear that sex means biological sex in the Equality Act. I'm not going to make any. I was thinking of a point to make, but I think it's just not. Like I said, I'm not trying to be divisive or persuasive. So, deliver 1.6 million well-designed homes in the right places while protecting our countryside. Permanently abolish stamp duty for homes up to that would be nice for first-time buyers, and introduce a help to buy scheme. The police officers we've already read cut antisocial behaviour in town centres by rolling out hotspot policing, expanding community payback and legislating to evict social tenants who repeatedly disrupt their neighbours. Invest 36 billion in local roads, rail and buses to drive regional growth, including 8.3 billion to fill potholes and resurface roads funded by cancelling the second phase of HS2. Back drivers by stopping road pricing. What does it mean by stopping road pricing? Reversing the London Mayor's ULEZ expansion and applying local referendums to new 20-mile-an-hour zones and low traffic neighbourhoods. Champion our rural communities by backing farmers with a legal target and additional investment for food security, and protecting our best agricultural land from solar farms. Continue to directly invest in communities across Scotland, Wales, Northern Ireland. Protect the UK's internal market and the integrity of our United Kingdom. So those are the main points, I think, of everything that's about to be discussed below. Wow, they really go. I've got to be honest, makes no difference to truly who you vote for, but I do prefer the layout of the Conservative manifesto versus the Labour one. It is easier to see, specifically what they are pledging. As in, I'm talking visually. But anyway, I think it would take really too long to go through any of these things, to be brutally honest. This is so much easier to read, but it would take so long to go through. So let's look at their main content, and then you guys can go and look into each one, I think. Although, to be fair, it looks like we've gone through all of these things, at least from their main, the bold actions, shall we say, and then I suppose we've got all of the small kind of pragmatic approaches that, as in what they are claiming is pragmatic. I'm not saying they actually are pragmatic, I have no idea if they are, so maybe we skim through and see if anything. Actually, should we look at that? Where is it going to be? Here somewhere. National Service. A new model. Okay, let's have a look at this. A new model for modern national service. We will reinvent national service for this century to give young people valuable life skills and build a strong national culture. It will be compulsory, so it becomes a rite of passage for every 18-year-old, but young people will be given a choice between civic service, the equivalent of 1 weekend a month, 1 weekend a month, volunteering. Okay, so it wouldn't prevent you. See, This is why it's important. And you guys can look at all the various points yourself in the same way if you notice an interest for yourself. I thought it'd be like a whole year of like dedicated service, but no. It is 1 week in a month, 25 days a year, volunteering in the community alongside work or study for a year. Roles could include special constable, NHS responder, or RNLI volunteer. What is that? Well, I don't know what that is. I probably should, but I don't. Military service, a year-long full-time placement in the armed forces or cyber defence. This placement will be competitive and paid, so our armed forces recruit and train the brightest and best. We will establish a Royal Commission, the first in a quarter of a century, to design our modernised national service. It will be backed by funding of 2.5 billion. Okay. Is that the last of it? I'm going to leave it. Actually, all of these look like they have the odd orange, that orange box that we just read. Is that like some sort of very big bold thing? Mental health support stuff. NHS technology and productivity. Make the NHS app the single front door for NHS services. Patients will use the app to access their records, prescriptions, book vaccine appointments, access a digital red book and manage their hospital appointments. Use AI to free up doctors and nurses' time for frontline patient care. I wonder what that means. I suppose it probably just means like admin, hopefully. Replace tens of thousands of updated computers, slashing the 13 million hours in doctors and nurses' time lost to IT issues. Genuinely, one of my biggest gripes at work. So yes, that is not saying that they can do. Again, I'm not saying that they can do that, or if it is realistic. I'm just saying it's an issue, and I agree that they have recognised it's an issue. That's it. I am genuinely making it sound like I am voting Conservative because I am definitely coming across more like enthusiastic reading this than I was a Labour one, and I genuinely am saying this. It's because it's not as friggin' hot. When I was recording that video, the internal temperature of the room is 22 degrees at the moment because I've waited till it's a bit later. It was 28.5 degrees in the house, in like the internal part of my house when I was recording that. It was horrendous. So please, I'm just in a better mood generally. Or maybe I am voting Conservative. I'm not revealing anything. Fun technology to help clinicians read MRI and CT scans more quickly and accurately, speeding up results. Okay. Blah blah blah. Let's see if we can find more of these. Expand pharmacy first, including for menopause support, contraception, treatment for chest infections. 20 million GP appointments each year. It frees up apparently. Modernise or build 250 GP surgeries. Build 50 more community diagnostic centres. I mean, it all sounds pretty positive, but I'm not going to go into migration. Not because I don't think it's important, just I sort of know where they're going with that. I think we'll leave it there, though, guys. Yeah, let's leave it there. You guys can obviously go through all of this. That's like ULEZ prevention or whatever. And filling in potholes and all that. Okay, guys, I hope you've enjoyed. Get out there and vote for whoever you agree with the most. Be bold, be brave. Vote for who you believe in and the points that they are making. And engage in constructive conversation with your peers. It's very important. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you all very soon.